Hi, everyone, and welcome to the special simulcast, the Neil Haley Show and the Mina Valentine Show with our host, Mina Valentine. Mina, what's going on? You have a topic for us today.
I wanted to talk a little bit about our Memorial Day and how they used to celebrate or honor the veterans in England around the Georgian era. They didn't they didn't have a day dedicated, just like in America. We didn't have one until after World War I, but the and the first man that was buried in the Arlington Cemetery. His name was Mann, and he fought for the Union Army, and that's the first gentleman that was buried there. But in England, King Charles II, recognizing the needs for the wounded and poverty-stricken warriors that came home, he recognized that and felt that they needed something. So he had them build a facility for them, and it was called the Chelsea Royal Hospital. But they lived there and did all kinds of things. But they had the Crimean War, they had the Napoleonic Wars. So they had more people coming home. And so they did a program, and it was, I'm trying to remember, the old pension system, and or the out pension system. And for a man that put 20 years in, or if he had been injured, they would give them money to live on so that they could stay where they were if they had a place to stay, or if they didn't, the government would facilitate finding a place for them. And then they didn't have medals like we see today, how you get a medal for this and that. But they gave what they call regimental medals. And that was if somebody did something really grand, they would develop their own regiment's medals for the soldiers. But what they did do was celebrate big battles and bigger than life leaders. So that was about what they did. Here, I think it's interesting. It's about what we did in the United States, but it was Theodore Roosevelt, and he felt that these veterans needed a place, a hospital, and places to live. And so they opened 3 hospital facilities, large, took up tons of acres. They had one in New Jersey, I think so. And then they had one in Iowa, and they had one in Dayton, Ohio. And the one in Dayton, Ohio, the men farmed, and so they would provide all kinds of fruits and vegetables to the kitchen for meals. They were allowed to paint. They could mow lawns. They had them working all the time, doing what they liked to do. So if somebody liked to paint, okay, you're painting over there. If they liked to build things, they had them build all kinds of things. There were men that worked in the gardens, and they made the most spectacular looking animals and things, shapes out of trees and bushes. And because of that one success, Iowa failed, New Jersey failed, but the one in Ohio was very successful. And that is what facilitated the continuation of the veterans. I think that's very interesting. The sad part is, and they had places for to live there on the property, almost like apartments, big buildings with the room, but the kitchen, they didn't have a kitchen. They would go to the main facility to have their meals. But the veterans would help cook the meals. If they liked to cook, that's what they did. But I think the mistake that evolved was the government took those kind of things away from the individual. And I think that part of a healing, if you have depression or post traumatic, part of coming out of that is being able to have a job, something that you do every day, something that makes them feel useful, without having to interact too heavily. And that experiment in Dayton, Ohio was very successful. It's a shame that we can't go back to that.
Now, in the Georgian era, do they celebrate Memorial Day?
Oh, no, like I said, they didn't have that, but they celebrated large battles, successful battles, and they celebrated war heroes that led like they did.
They didn't want to. They didn't want to celebrate people who died in the war.
They just, well, we didn't do that sort of thing either.
What made it change?
Probably a woman saying, "Hey, he died, and I want him recognized." Because he wasn't there to argue for himself. He was dead. But
so Memorial Day didn't start out as that with the people that died. Then you're telling me
Memorial Day?
Yeah.
Memorial Day started to celebrate the veterans, not necessarily just those that died. Although still in some communities, they go and decorate the graves on Memorial Day.
So when did they? So you said someone changed it to honor the dead later.
Oh, it honors all of them. It was for all of them, the dead and the living.
But they changed that, right?
No, it's still
honor the people who've died.
We honor all veterans.
Okay, all right, I have to look that up. What would AI say? We honor all that have fallen. That's pretty much what they talk about all the time.
Yeah, that's what they talk about, but that's not. When we walk by and see a man that was in the service, we say thank you for your service.
Yeah.
And that celebration is formalized on Memorial Day.
Okay, so I'll have to look that up. Well, okay. What is basically, I didn't know that. So I always thought Memorial Day is for honoring the dead. Let's find out. Memorial Day. I'm looking it up right now. Definition. Let's see. You want to hear the definition? The current definition. Let's see. This is Memorial Day is a federal holiday observed on the last day, Monday of May, dedicating to the mourning and honoring all military professionals. So they talk about the mourning first and honoring all military professionals who died while serving in the United States Air Forces.
Air Force.
I mean, armed forces. Did you hear that? Mourning and honoring all military personnel who died.
What?
When did that change? And you're telling me it's honoring everybody.
It honors all veterans.
That's not what it says.
It does. I don't know. It messed up.
Honors specifically the men and women who died while serving. Veterans Day, observed on November 11th, celebrates the service of all military veterans.
Maybe that's it.
So, no, but you were right. I think Memorial Day was different before. They changed it.
Maybe. I don't know why they would.
I'll say, has Memorial Day's definition always been the same? So look at us, making sure we're fact checking this, Mina. That's why you're right for the Georgian era. No, the definition of Memorial Day has not always been the same. While the core purpose remains honoring deceased military personnel, the name, scope, and observance date have significantly over time. Originally called Decoration Day,
Yeah,
it began after the Civil War specifically to honor Union soldiers who died in the war. It was a Decoration Day. It was originally celebrated on May 30th every year, a date chosen. Expansion of all the wars, name shift. Memorial Day started gaining traction. What about who it honored? Did it ever change? So that's a good question, right? In
yep,
your studies, you say it honors everyone.
yep.
So the official definition, a solemn federal holiday to mourn and honor U.S. had died, has remained constant since its inception. However, whoever it honors expands significantly over time.
Yeah,
So you say it's everyone. I agree, it's everyone. Go to MinaValentine.com. Make sure she's not writing war stories. She is writing her romance novels, and definitely get it. It's a great summer read.
oh, it
MinaValentine.com.
is. Those books are great. You'll love them.
All right. That was the special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and the Mina Valentine Show, guys. Take care.